The ultimate goal for me of being an entrepreneur, wow, there's a few of them. The first is just the way my mind works, the way my life. I've always seen life as an adventure. I never saw it as a burden. I just always wanted to get out and see the world. When I was a little kid, I used to read adventure books about the high seas, and when I was a little kid, I used to always look at the back of the New York Times Magazine section, and there were pictures of castles and other countries and programs abroad. And I always wanted to get out of suburbia. It was just like I knew there was a huge world out there. I had a pretty strong intuition when I was young that we got one life. Was not brought up Hindu. I totally respect their point of view. Maybe we come back Buddhist. I don't know. Reincarnation. I'm not a betting man, so I'm working on this life. And I just always wanted to live a lot. And having a job, having to go into one place, fluorescent lights, are shaped like jail bars to me. I mean, there's something horrifying about it. And anytime I've had to be in a building where there are fluorescent lights or artificial lighting, all I can do is I sit there and I think about all the beautiful beaches and mountains and lakes and rivers in the world. I want to be there. I want to be outside. I want to be enjoying this life while I'm here. So the adventure of life, again, entrepreneur, fancy word for just having a life adventure, creating businesses around what you love doing and what you're interested in. That makes sense to me. To do what you love and to get out and actually enjoy this life while you have it. Because, like I said, there's no guarantee of any further lives. Not that I'm discounting it. That's number one. Number two is, like you, like all the founding members of Generation Entrepreneur, we love freedom. We don't like people telling us what to do in general. I think on my early report cards, that was the one thing I failed, does not follow instructions. And I'm not even kidding about that. In kindergarten, that was my only U. That was my only unsuccessful, whatever it stood for, usurper of power. But it never turned me on. It never seemed exciting to me. And I like to create my own life. And there's a huge empowerment with that. And I love telling the story about when I really made the switch from being what I thought was an independent person, working in Hollywood, being a writer, thinking, well, I own my life, and found out that I didn't when movies got canceled for a variety of reasons. And I started retraining myself particularly with internet marketing, because it seemed to be an entirely new world, which it is. You can reach people all around the world. And I was doing an online webinar, just like the kind of things we teach at Generation Entrepreneur. And it was all new to me. And I was doing this webinar, and my little 10-year-old was sitting on the desk just like this, kind of watching me. And just watching me quietly. He's very good at that. And I was doing this webinar, and when it finished, he goes, Dad, he goes, a lot of people talk about getting rich, but you're actually doing something about it. And it was one of those moments where I was really moved, because I wasn't doing it for him, clearly. I'm really doing it for myself. And he was watching me. Your kids watch you very closely. And to me, God, what was it? I guess it's Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman or All My Sons, about how working for others can crush your spirit. Can really crush your spirit. And here was my son watching me really remake my life and being proud of his dad. And that meant a lot to me. So there's something about being empowered, owning your life, making this. It's not always easy. As you've said, Kent, we make mistakes and it costs us money, but we have the skills to rebuild. That's the thing. We're not dependent. It's not like we're getting fired from a job and then you have to go hat in hand trying to find another job. There's something incredibly sad. And I don't mean that in any kind of condescending way. I really mean it makes me sad to think of people, especially who have to support families, to have to go hat in hand looking for a job because they haven't developed the skills to really own their own life. There's something really empowering and something... I'm trying to find the right word. Just something that makes me feel good about my life, makes me feel good in front of my kids, that I can rebuild no matter how much I screw up. God knows I do. With business, you learn from your mistakes, but you have those skills and you have the people around you to help you rebuild. And it's fun. It makes life an adventure.